Wonderful.
Yes, we can. Gwendolyn, we've just finished introducing you. We're good to go at any point you are.
Okay.
That would be now, Gwendolyn.
All right, great. Can you guys see me? I can't see you, so I just making sure because I can't see you guys. So
We can hear you, but I'm going to disable the microphone so that we don't get an echo of sorts.
okay,
It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be tough speaking to a blank screen. Uh, I hope you can make that work somehow.
that's not a
I think
problem.
you
I
should.
just want to make sure you can see me because I'm going to go to slides in a minute. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So if there's any problem, just come back on and let me know that you can't see them. Okay?
Yes.
Great. All right, let's get started. Um, Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be presenting to you guys today. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Gwendolyn Gay. Most of you might have seen some of my stuff. I'm the host and writer for the YouTube channel for iFixit. You can find that at youtube.com/iFixitYourself. I love my job, and I love iFixit, and that makes it really easy to go to work every day. My position as the host and writer for our channel is to educate our viewers on repair. And we do that through repair videos as well as teardowns. And some of you might have seen some of our teardowns. We pride ourselves on getting the newest tech as soon as possible. Sometimes we send people across the world to places like Australia because they'll get it a day before anyone in the United States. So we send someone over there to tear it down first. And the reason we do this is we want to let people know what's inside of the brand new tech. We want people to know how it's put together. And most importantly, we want people to know how repairable it is. So I have a couple of teardowns to go through with you guys today. The new PS4, which is super exciting. We really love this device. And as well as the Ipad Mini. So we'll go through those teardowns. I'll explain to you how we score things, and I'm going to let you guys guess what we might have scored these. So let's get started. Let me share my screen with you. Let's see. And hopefully this works. If I don't hear from you, that means that you guys can see everything. So I'm going to go ahead and make this full screen, and let's get started. All right, guys, so our teardowns today, again, are the Ipad Mini and the PlayStation 4. I want to start real quick with talking a little bit about iFixit and how we started. Simply put, iFixit is the free online manual. Some of you may have used our manuals before for any of your repairs. It started with two guys, Kyle and Luke are our founders, and they actually started in a college dorm room here in California. Kyle dropped his computer and wanted to fix it himself, and went online and was looking for a repair guide, but realized that Apple does not provide anyone with repair guides. You get user manuals, but you don't get repair guides. And after a little bit more digging, he realized that pretty much nobody hands out repair guides for their devices. So that just started a trend of making their own repair guides, and they did this. They did hard copies and started trying to sell those, but then it quickly moved to an online community where all the information was free, and they changed their idea of wanting to have a repair manual for really common repairs to they want to have an online repair manual for everything you might want to fix. So this is our website, and we're so proud of it. This is kind of a new landing page. And you can see at the top you can find our guides, answers if you have questions and you just want to troubleshoot something. Maybe you don't know what's wrong. Go to our answers page right here and go ahead and ask those questions. And our whole online community, if it's not an employee, it might be someone out there who just knows, who can answer that question for you. And of course our store, if you're ever looking for any tools or you need some parts for your repair, we sell most everything that you will need for your electronic repair. And of course we're the best tools on the market for that. I pretty much love our ProTech Toolkit. I use it every day at my job. So we have thousands of repair manuals, and like I said, it's not just for electronics. We do have cell phones, laptops, appliances like blenders, toasters. We even have things like repairs for bikes, skateboards, luggage, instruments even. We do have some guitar repairs on there. We most recently partnered with Patagonia, the clothing company, and we have lots of guides for all of their stuff. We've got lots of guides on jackets, even some of their luggage, so that's a really cool thing that we offer. And but of course, you know, our most popular guides are on our cell phone repair, actually. So yep. We have pretty much every guide you could think of for a cell phone. So why do we believe in repair? Well, let's see. This is not a pretty picture. So over 20 million tons of e-waste is created per year globally. And this is just a very small picture of what that looks like. And we believe very strongly in this, that reducing the amount of e-waste, we can do that by extending the life of devices, which means before we throw it out, before we even try to recycle it, we just try to fix it. And the longer that it's in our hands, the longer it's out of our e-waste. So we made a manifesto, and of course the major things of that manifesto are repair is better than recycling. So definitely here we say reduce, reuse, recycle, and we like to add repair right before recycle. So reduce, reuse, repair, and then recycle as a last resort. Repair saves money, because if you're not repairing, then you're just buying a new product. And then repair teaches engineering, which is great. I know all of you out there are so into tech and how it's put together, and so it's really cool to take something apart and really just see how it works and see all the gears and put it back together and it still works is one of the coolest things. So and repair saves the planet, like I said. It keeps all of our e-waste down. So we have fixers all over the world. This is a really cool map. Last year we started a pledge where you can pledge to repair before you throw out your devices. And this is just a little bit of our map showing where people have pledged to stand with us and fix their device before trashing them. So before 1990, when you wanted to fix something, you basically had to figure it out. So that's really just tinkering. So getting in there and just taking things apart and hoping that you can get it back together. There's also a lot more out there in the way of repair manuals. And you could also have the option of going to a trade school and learning the trade. Now, with the development of the internet, I mean, basically, you just look it up. You can just Google everything you need to know about repair, and that's where iFixit comes in. There's, of course, other places where you can find this information, but we are so excited to have the most information on how to fix pretty much anything you could think of. So pretty much anyone can be a mechanic today, or you know, do their own electronic repairs, which is so cool. And now that you have the internet, you can do it anywhere. So you don't have to go into a classroom, and you don't have to go to a library to find a book. You can look it up on your tablet, your computer, your smartphone. Some of our apps are really cool. I really like them, especially when you're trying to make your own guide. They're pretty cool. So, and then, so like I said, if you want to make your own guide, something that's really, really cool about our site is that it's a wiki and anyone can contribute. So if you don't see a guide for something that you maybe know how to repair, you can create a guide and publish it on our site, which is awesome. You can also earn points and reputation, that we call it, on our site, which is really cool. So again, if there's something that you would like to show us how to repair and we don't have that on our site, create it. Be a part of our repair community. It's really cool. Let's see. All right, let's get into the teardowns. That's a little bit about iFixit, and I'm so excited to share with you some of these teardowns. So we like to get our hands on every new device that comes out, and we score every gadget we tear down between 1 and 10. 10 being the easiest to repair and 1 being the most difficult. And there are some things that go into our scoring, like design anorexia, which is basically the idea that things are getting smaller. And there's not a really good reason for that necessarily. It's just that we keep getting told that smaller is better. We also score against planned obsolescence, which is basically designing to eventually fail, so that the consumer will have to buy more, which is a tricky thing that those big designers do. And another thing is we look for glue and soldering as opposed to screws. Obviously, screws are a better option because you can get in and out of a device without a problem. So let's walk through our first teardown of the iPad Mini. The iPad Mini is so cool. It's a really fun device. I actually just finished some iPad Mini repairs. We just did a repair on the front panel, the LCD, and oh yeah, the batteries. So be looking out for those on our channel. We'll definitely get those out soon. So every iPad since the second generation has used glue to put it together. So there's no screws involved in getting into the device. Which means for me and you and anyone who wants to get inside that it's a whole lot of heat that you're going to need. And this is our little eye opener. If you guys haven't seen it, it's super cool. You just pop it in the microwave and about 60 seconds later you got some heat, which is great. What we used before were heat guns, and I'm sure you've seen those in repairs. But they get really hot and the heat doesn't distribute evenly. So we created the eye opener, and after heating in the microwave, like I said, you can place it on the device and it doesn't cause any damage to anything inside. So the process of getting into the iPad is a lot of heat and a lot of picks. So every time you heat a side, you have to go ahead and put one of these picks in so that the glue doesn't reset. Again, this would be so much easier if it was just put together with screws, but they want to make it small, so there's no screws. It's all adhesive. So this begs the question, is it possible to make a sleek design without sacrificing repairability? So that's something I'll let you guys think on. We do. We think it's possible, and I'll show you some ideas of people who were able to pull that off. So after getting the front panel off, we're able to unscrew the LCD right there, and then flip it over onto the front panel there, and then you can see the LCD shield plate underneath. And after you get that plate off, we get our first look inside of the iPad Mini. And it's actually a really good looking device inside. It's really well laid out. You can see the logic board there on the left. And then, but mostly the device is taken up by the battery. As you can see, it's like pretty much just battery and then our little logic board there. And that's our camera. So it's really well laid out. It's very pretty. Obviously, it's not meant to be taken apart. And so this is going into the battery. Now the battery, God, it is a beast to get out. It is so difficult to get out. Again, there's a lot of heat, so you can turn it over and put some heat on the back side. So the back panel, just heat up that back panel. And then we use these cards to scrape the glue. So your battery in your iPad is not just laid in there. It is glued down, never meant to move. So there's a lot of scraping, and this can be dangerous. So we do recommend the cards as opposed to, say, like a metal spudger, because metal spudgers, while they'll probably do the job of scraping, they might puncture the battery. And that's obviously a huge problem. You don't want to puncture your battery, and you also don't want to bend it beyond recognition, because it won't go back into your iPad. So the best tool for the job is really just a little bit of heat on the back side and then scraping with your cards. And this takes so long. It takes, let's see, I just did the repair, and it took me about 20 minutes on the battery alone, and that's with heating and reheating and scraping and some more scraping. And I finally got the battery out. So that's a difficult repair. And like I said, they're definitely not meant to be interchangeable. So this iPad mini has a 3.7 volt, 6.5 watt hour, 4,440 milliamp hour battery. So that's not bad. It's a pretty good battery. So this is, again, this is a heat gun, so it's not our iPad mini, our eye opener. And this is heating up the logic board. So we're moving on to the logic board, which has all the fun stuff on it. I like to think of the battery as the heart of the iPad, and I guess the logic board would be the brain. And of course, the Apple didn't make it easy for us. So again, heat is involved. So not only is your front panel adhered to the case, so you've got glue there, you have so much glue in your battery, and now you have a ton of glue holding down the logic board. And you just want to be careful when you're heating your logic board, obviously, because you don't want to fry anything important. So I like using the eye opener. It looks like they used the heat gun for this one. But when I did my repair, I definitely used the eye opener just because the heat isn't too hot. It's just enough. So with more heat and more prying, we were able to get the logic board out. And something we found interesting about the iPad mini is they did something a little different than the iPads. And that was integrating, if you can see right here, the lightning connector is connected to the logic board. So what this means for you, if you're doing repairs on this, or if something breaks in your logic board, you're going to have to replace your entire, if your lightning connector breaks, you're going to have to replace your entire logic board. So we did not like that at all, because lightning connectors and even the old connectors in like iPhone 4s, those get broken pretty easily. Things get stuck up in there, and they can get broken pretty easily. And that's a pretty common repair, and usually a pretty easy repair. But yeah, this would take a lot of work, and it would be very expensive because you'd need a whole new logic board for your lightning connect for your iPad mini. So let's take a look at the goodies on your logic board. So this is a little bit of a close-up. In orange, you can see the 16 gigabytes of NAND flash memory. That one's made by Hynix, so that's cool. And then the yellow square, we have the Apple A5 processor, and that is 512 megabytes of RAM. And here it is, all laid out. And if you can see, so we've got our front panel, and our LCD, our battery, the logic board. These are speakers, and of course, antennas and everything else. So it doesn't look like it's made up by much, and it really isn't. It's a lot of it has been integrated onto the logic board, and of course, the battery takes up quite a bit of room in your iPad mini. So now what I want to do is I want to ask you guys to score this this device for us, okay? So if you have a piece of paper, go ahead and write down a number between 1 and 10 that you would score the iPad Mini. Keeping in mind that glue is not great for repairability, and screws are better. So what would you score it between 1 and 10? And after you write that number down, show your neighbor, so there's no cheating. Just share it with your neighbor. And then I'll ask you in a bit what you think it was. All right, so at iFixit, we took into account everything about this device, and we really love how it works, but again, the score is on repairability alone. So we gave the iPad Mini a 2 out of 10, and that is a dismal score. That's terrible. And here's why. These are our reasons. So first, the LCD and the glass are not fused together, which is nice. That's definitely an upside. And it can be replaced independently, so you can replace your front panel and your LCD separately, which is nice. And the battery is not soldered to the logic board, but again, it is very much glued down, so that's not great. There's copious amounts of glue and adhesive that hold all the components in place. Like I said, the front panel, even the LCD is glued to the LCD shield plate. So the logic board, like I said, the battery, front camera, back camera, ribbon cables. So that just makes repair not only difficult, it takes so much longer to do a repair when it involves glue. So your repairs are so much faster when you have some screws up in there. And like I said, the lightning connector is soldered to the logic board, which means you're going to have a very expensive repair if you want to replace basically one or the other. And hidden screws, those hidden screws really mean that they're just hidden behind tape. Apple is really good at hiding screws. We found that a lot of their screws, when we're going through a repair, are we just have to lift up pretty much every piece of tape to find where to get into some parts of the device. So there's that. How did you guys do? Did you guys guess correctly? Talk to your neighbor. When I'm finished with the slides, I'll definitely ask you guys how you guys did. So this is a little bit, we have scored many tablets. These are our highest scoring tablets. So the Dell XPS 10 got a 9, and that is the highest scoring tablet there is. And that is, yes, bigger than the iPad Mini, but it's still a sleek design. So we really do think it's possible to have a sleek design that's still repairable. The only thing that's bad about that is really that the LCD is fused to the glass, so that makes your repair of either the front panel or the LCD expensive. It doesn't make it necessarily harder, it makes it more expensive. So there's a couple more there. So the Amazon Kindle Fire, but then here are our lowest, and of course there you can see the iPad Mini with its dismal score of 2, but the lowest scoring is definitely the Microsoft Surface Pro. While it's a very cool device, it's because it's you know, a tablet and a computer in one, which makes it great for functionality, but it's terrible for repair. I mean, I don't know why we even gave it a 1. It's pretty terrible. So you can find all that at ifixit.com /tablet_repair, and you can even do that with phones as well, and you can see the highest scoring phones. So yeah, definitely check those out before you decide to buy as a consumer. Our scores go a long way with our consumers. Let's see. So, moving on. So the PlayStation 4. We were so excited about the PlayStation 4. You know, we saw a lot of good things about it when things were being leaked. But I was excited about it because it'd been 7 years since the last major redesign. The PS3, yeah, was released 7 years ago. So this was late 2013 when the PS4 was released, just in time for the holidays. Yeah, so 7 years. That's a long time, and we really wanted to see what they had going for them. It was a sleek design, as opposed to the Xbox One, which was kind of clunky. If you saw it, it's kind of just a big box, and this was kind of a sleek, smaller design than the Xbox One. So we really wanted to see how they put all that tech inside. So let's jump right in. So on the back, you can see all the ports. You've got your power out inlet, and that's in red. The digital optical audio out. HDMI in yellow. The Ethernet in blue, or I guess teal there. And in blue, the proprietary auxiliary port for connecting external devices. So that would be for your PlayStation camera, most likely. Okay, so getting inside, we absolutely love this. So again, we really love this device for lots of reasons, but I think the main reason is definitely this part. So not only getting in, which is just no tools needed, see that? That's just hands. Sliding this off is pretty easy. You just put a little pressure and the clips come off. And the best part is that's how you get to your hard drive. So there's the hard drive. And that is so exciting for us because we know a lot of people want to upgrade their hard drives or, you know, have more room or more speed, depending. And you can do this with basically one tool, which is a Phillips screw. This is a Phillips screw holding it in place. So to get in, you just pop off that panel. One Phillips screw holding your hard drive in place. And then it just slides right out, which is wonderful. And actually, let's see, I did a video of the PS4 hard drive swap, and you're going to have to do a little bit of formatting, so some software formatting, which isn't hard at all. And we go through that in this repair. You can find that on our website. It's I believe it's just called PS4 hard drive swap. Short video, easy to do, lots of fun. Okay, so getting in. This is the underside, so we just flipped it over. And those, I believe, are just Torx screws. So no proprietary screws anywhere, which is wonderful, and we love that. And then, so the first thing that catches our eye once we take off our panel is that huge fan. Look at that fan. They definitely made an upgrade from the PS3. That's a massive, massive fan. And actually, I have a close-up of that, so we're going to come back to that. I will definitely go into that. So then we take off this panel. If you can see this black panel right below the fan, and we find the heatsink. So let's see. So the power supply, we found it interesting actually because we did the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 around the same time because they were released at the same time. And we found it interesting that the Xbox One decided to design their console with the external power supply. So that's where the Xbox One has their brick that's outside of the device, and the Xbox One is bigger. So this is another idea of great design and utilizing their space. The PS4 did a really good job. So the PS4's power supply is an AC input of 100 to 240 volts. This means you can take it around the world, and just remember to bring power socket adapters because they should work pretty much anywhere in the world. So this power supply is pretty cool. And back on the other side, we remove a few screws, and that's the LCD shield. The shield plate for the motherboard. Yeah, so we get our first look at the motherboard, and I have to say, this is one of the prettiest motherboards I've ever seen. Look at that. It's so organized. So let me just call out some of these chips we have on here. So in red, you've got your CPU GPU combo right there. And in orange, you've got 4 gigabytes of Samsung-made GDDR5 RAM. I almost said 3. So that's a total of 8 on one side. That's 512 megabytes equals 4 megabytes. Yeah. And you actually have the same configuration on the other side. So the PS4 has a total of 8 megabytes of RAM. So in blue, let's see, this little blue guy right here, that's the serial flash memory. So serial flash memory is a small, low-powered flash memory that uses serial interface, typically serial peripheral interface, for sequential data access. So the PS4 uses the hard drive for memory, and the flash memory is not for storage. And then you have your Ethernet cable connector controller, sorry, here. Oh, and there's our fan. So I love this fan. Like I said, it's huge compared to the PS3s. And it wasn't too difficult to get out, so you should be able to clean that pretty easily. But remember how loud the PS3's fan was? This fan is designed to run smarter and quieter than the PS3's. So it's going to spool up and down gradually. That will lower the noise that it makes, and the bigger, wider design will help with that. So here's all the pieces, and this is that's your power source. So yeah, it looks great, and there's your hard drive. It's just a really pretty design. I think they did a really good job. It's, like I said, it's been 7 years. They corrected a lot of problems. Actually, that fan is going to correct a lot of the yellow light of death problems, and your heatsink, which is this big, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but yeah, this big part right here is your heatsink, which goes right next to your fan, is going to go right there. Okay, so now that you've seen the PS4 and how it's put together, how repairable do you think it is? I'll let you guys guess again between 1 and 10. Share your number with your neighbor. See how good everyone's doing on those guesses. So yeah, 1 to 10, 1 being the hardest to repair and 10 being the easiest to repair. Go ahead and guess what you think we would give this device on the repairability scale. So we gave the PS4 an 8 out of 10, and we're super excited about that. The main reason was no adhesive and no soldering. It was really just put together easily with screws and with clips even, so no tools were needed at sometimes. And there's no proprietary hard drive, so that you can replace, you can upgrade, you can do everything you want without voiding the warranty. So that first panel that you take off with your hands and the one screw that's holding the hard drive in place does not void a warranty. However, getting into, say, clean your fan or check out your logic board, your motherboard, then you're going to run into having to take those stickers off and void your warranty, which is fine. At least the hard drive is easy to get to. The only downsides we could really find were that the disassembly is quite a bit, it would take quite a bit to get to the fan. Like I said, it's not too hard to get the fan out, but you're going to have to go completely through the device to get to the fan. And that's kind of an important part. Like I said, the yellow light of death was a problem in the PS3. We haven't seen anything like that since the release in October of the PS4. But it is good to keep your fan clean if you think about it, like once a year maybe. So yeah, so that's that. How did you guys do? I hope that you guys did well on those scoring. I'm gonna get back into this so you guys can see me. I'm so glad that you guys had me here today. Like I said, the PS4 is super great. If you have one or a PS3, go ahead and take it apart and take a look inside, take a look at the tech. It's so cool. I think consoles are one of my favorite things to take apart because they're so laid out and they're bigger than phones, so you can definitely see everything inside. And the iPad is while it's a great device, it's just not great for repair. So it's not one of those things that you want to buy thinking that you'll be able to repair it. So show of hands, I can see you guys now. So show of hands, how did you guys do on the iPad mini scoring? Who got it correctly? Anybody? Did anybody get it correctly? No! Okay, what about the PS4? Anybody? Nice. Yeah, the PS4 scored pretty high. So I'm guessing you guys scored the mini a little higher than it should have been? A little higher, maybe? Lower. Scored it a 1. Yeah, it had a lot of adhesive, and it probably should have scored a 1, to be completely honest. Pretty much everything was adhered. So thanks for playing. If you watch some of our teardowns that we have coming up, that might be a fun thing to do for you guys to watch the repair without, or the teardown without knowing the score, and try to guess. But now that you know how we score things, it definitely affects how I, as a consumer, buy things, because I want to be able to repair my devices. I'm sure you guys who like the inside of devices and want to look inside without really voiding warranties and stuff, it'll affect how you buy devices as well. So definitely check out our scores before you buy your next products. Do you guys have any questions? So I can't see you guys or hear you guys anymore. So if you're looking, I'm here, I'm waiting. If you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah, Gwendolyn, can you just wait 5 minutes?
Yep, no problem.
Sure. Hi, Gwendolyn.
Hi.
Anything? Yeah, sure. I have a problem in my PSP.
Okay.
My wireless controller, in it the R2 key doesn't work frequently. Can you know what is the reason behind it?
Okay, and what's the device again?
The, the R2 key doesn't work properly.
Okay.
But when
Yeah, I'm not sure, because you keep going out, so I'm not sure what the actual problem is. But my suggestion to you is to, like I said at the beginning, go to our website and go to the Ask section and troubleshoot. So just ask someone on there, and you'll probably get an answer from someone that isn't an employee, just someone who knows they've fixed it on their own device. That would be the best thing, I think, to do in your case. So does that help?
I couldn't get what she's saying. Gwendolyn, can you actually hear his question? He had some problem with his R2 key in his PS3. Well, in the game, it doesn't work.
R2K on the PS3?
Yes.
Okay, I hear you now. Yeah, personally, I've never actually done a repair on a PS3. I've done a lot of repairs on the PS4. So me personally, I probably wouldn't be the best person to ask, but I know that definitely on our answer section, you would find someone there's tons of repairs on the PS3 on there. We even have repairs on our guides, but if you're just troubleshooting, you could ask at our answer section. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
Hello. I'm using Nokia Lumia 525.
It
Okay.
it often gets hanged up for no reason. I don't know why. It gets
Ex-
hanged. The touch doesn't work often. In a user manual, they have given that press the lock key as well as the volume key simultaneously. It will give a vibration, and then your phone will reset. But it also doesn't work sometimes. Do you
is-
know what kind of problem there might be in my phone?
yeah. So is it your screen that's not working? Is the rest of it turning on? It's just not your screen, or what's not working on it?
The touch panel. The touch thing, it doesn't work. It doesn't sense my commands through my fingers.
Your
It gets
key.
hanged. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
His,
So
dis- his display freezes.
gotcha. So I would try. Have you let it die, like the battery die before you start charging it, and let it completely turn off? Um, in that way, and then recharging it and see if maybe that will work. Um, but it sounds like you might have a problem. Yeah, definitely inside the phone. So um, let me see if we have. I'm not sure if we even have guides for the. What did you say? It was the Nokia Lumia?
525.
Okay.
52.
Um, I'll share my screen with you here. The let's see. Did you say 523?
525.
525. Sorry.
It's
Um, so let me just share my screen with you here. All right, can you see that?
Yeah.
So I just went to guides on phone repair, and then we go to the Nokia phone, and we have repairs for so many Nokias. But I'm not seeing yours.
it's Nokia Lumia 525.
Lumia.
Hmm.
520. It's similar to 520.
This one maybe?
It's similar to 520, but it have 1 GB RAM. That's all. That's the
Right.
difference between 520 and 5.
Okay, let's look at the 520 then. So so really we just have the touch window. So that's we do have the tear. Someone else did a tear down. This is not an iFixit tear down. And someone else did the window. Again, this is not our repair. Someone else did this, and that's not going to help you. I don't think. I don't think it's your screen. It doesn't sound like it. So your best bet would definitely be going here to answers and typing in Nokia Lumia and ask your question, and someone will definitely figure that one out for you. Again, that's I will bring that up to a couple of people here because we should have some more repairs on the Nokia Lumia, and we don't. We have a lot. They're just made by other people, it looks like. So that's not the screen you want to see. Hold on a second. There we go. So yeah, I would just again check out answers and see if someone can help you there with troubleshooting. It does not sound like it's a guide that we have that would help you because it doesn't sound like it's your screen. I don't think it's your front panel that's broken. So
Thanks.
yep.
Uh, Hello, Gwendolyn. We have one more question.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Have you ever tried replacing some components of one phone into another, like taking the RAM from Apple, and
Um,
does that work?
Sure. Taking components from one phone to another works when it's the same brand usually. So like taking components from an iPhone 4 to a 4S or something like that. If you go beyond something like that to like a 5, the components are completely different. So it depends on size. When it comes to things like RAM, they're soldered to the logic board. So it's very difficult to do any kind of upgrade in that way because you're just going to have to get a brand new logic board. There's really no way to upgrade those types of things, at least not in an Apple phone. But yeah, it's possible to do that, and I think it might be possible. It might be easier to do those types of things in non-Apple phones. So it's definitely something to look into. But Apple makes it very difficult to share components, especially things that are soldered onto their logic board. There's just no way to do it unless you buy a new logic board and replace the logic board because all the components, your RAM and your memory and everything is going to be
Thank you.
all on that logic board. Yeah. No problem.
Uh, yeah, a non-removable battery versus a removable battery. Which one should one opt for?
Okay, I lost you there. What did you say?
A removable battery in a phone
Uh-huh.
versus a non-removable one.
A
So,
non-removable
like,
battery?
should you prefer a should one prefer a non-removable battery or a removable one?
Okay, I heard a removable battery or a non-removable one. What's the question? Should we
Yes. Which one should we prefer when buying a phone? Which is better?
definitely a phone that has a removable battery, which a lot of phones are like that now, except for obviously iPhone is not very easy to remove. But you can remove the battery in the iPhone. It's not easy. Say, what's a good phone? Oh, like the Samsung Galaxy S4. That you just pop off the back. There's no tools involved, and it just falls out. So something like that. That means that you can charge your phone many, many times. Usually, a charged battery and a lithium-ion battery will probably last like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. So definitely get a phone where you can replace the battery because then if that's the only thing broken on your phone and you just need a new battery, you can get those for like $5 online and replace your battery and your phone is good as new. So definitely go for a phone where you can replace the battery, for sure.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I remember during your teardown, you said the iPad Mini has a 512 MB RAM, and
Uh-huh.
my Note 3 has a 3 GB RAM. Yet, while working on both the devices, I find the iPad to be a lot smoother. Why is that?
Okay, so say that again.
Yeah, my Note 3 has a 3 GB RAM,
Mm-hmm.
and yet the iPad works a lot smoother. Why is that?
Um, let's see. Well, let me get back to my notes. So the iPad has the the processor, the A5 processor, which is actually I think that's also in the iPhone 5S, um, and so I guess my best answer would definitely be just that the technology works together a little better with Apple's processor that they put in there. It's an Apple-made processor, so that is my best guess. I don't have a great answer for you, but that's definitely my best guess. Um, yeah. So you think the iPad Mini is smoother than what you have? Faster or
Yeah, marginally.
just a little
No,
bit?
during operation, yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's because Apple is really good at finding the right technology to work together. So when they buy their chips from other companies, Hynix or Samsung or whatever, they definitely test those out and what works together best for the optimal amount of, for you, so that it works best for you. So they probably just did a lot of testing and what chips work together best. So. That's my best answer for you. Sorry, it's not great. Okay, I have time for maybe 2 more questions. So,
Hello,
hi.
can you? Yes. My question is regarding the Note 3, the S Pen actually.
Okay, so Note 3, and then
Can you
what?
hear?
Yes.
S Pen, pen, the button, especially the button. If the button comes looser, instead of buying a new pen, is there a method to replace the button, especially with that?
A method to replace the button in your Note 3?
The S Pen, the button on the S Pen.
I don't know what device you're talking about. Sorry.
Note 3.
He's asking about the S Pen in the Samsung Note 3.
Okay. Yeah, the best thing to do is definitely to look at our guides. I haven't done that repair, so I would see on our website if we have a repair for that on our guides. I know we have plenty of Note 3 guides, so it should be in there, and I would check that out. I don't know if our company sells that piece, though. So I would definitely look online before you try to do a repair to see if you can find that piece before you try to do a repair for that. Does that help? Sorry. Sorry, I'm not hearing all the whole question, so I'm just trying to piece them together.
Hi.
Hi.
How can I block the pop-ups in a Windows phone?
How can you what now?
How can I how can I block the pop-ups in Windows phone?
How can you change the pop-up screen in a Windows phone, or is that what you're asking?
He's asking how should he block the pop-ups in his Windows phone?
Block them. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's a user thing, so that's something that I'm not quite sure of. I've never used a Windows phone, but I'm a little better when it comes to hard drive fixes than software fixes because I take things apart and put them back together. So I'm definitely a lot better with those types of questions. And the Windows phone seems really cool, but I can't say that I've ever used one. So that's something I would just Google and see what kind of answers are out there on the interwebs. And if you don't find anything, definitely check out our answers. People work on software questions on our site too. So yeah, I hope that helps. I do more of taking things apart and putting them back together. So hard drive kind of questions are a little better for me. So
How can I contact you?
okay, you
Hello?
guys can contact me. You can contact me on my YouTube channel. So that's youtube.com/ifixityourself. You can leave comments there. You can contact me through the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter. So my Twitter handle is @Gwendolyn Gay. So GWENDOLYNGAY. And I answer a ton of questions from my Twitter handle and from the YouTube channel. So
Thank you.
yeah, no problem.
Gwendolyn, hello.
Hi.
Uh, I think that should be it. Thank you for your lovely slides and thank you for your tech talk.
Yeah, no
We'll
problem.
get back to it once we finish this session. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. You guys enjoy.